As I'm getting older, I realize more and more that I am on the spectrum. I am neurodivergent in some ways. I don't believe I feel the same amount of emotions as most people feel. But now I'm actually thinking with talking to people who are heavily diagnosed in neurodivergence. I love monogamy. I love monogamish. I don't love full open relating and polyamory. I find it super annoying. And waking up, I have a regimen where I do a daily mantra, which has to do with affirmations and some things I've written for myself that is like daily alignment to remind myself who I want to be, where I want to go. The future vision of myself is just continuing to be me and living this amazing life, building a community where we can be doing this all the time. And this is for Yanni, her Tantric coaching. So first question is, tell me more about you. What excites you in life? How does your daily life look like? And anything else you would like to share. Daily life is in Bali. Generally wake up, I do the gym, either like a HIIT training, then I do a cold plunge. I do this probably 3 to 4 times a week. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually there half the day. And I do acro yoga. It's usually a little bit of socializing with that too. Waking up, I have a regimen where I try to do a daily mantra, which has to do with affirmations and some things I've written for myself that is like daily alignment to remind myself who I want to be, where I want to go. And the good news is right now, that is, my alignment is straight on. There's nothing in that that's really off. And then work during the days, and then nights is usually socializing. Although lately, it's been almost all work, and that's felt really good. I've been wanting to really just hunker down and get the passive income back up, take some of the things that I'm doing and create more wealth so I don't have that scarcity mode. Money's been going down fairly quickly since I've been in Bali the last 4 years. So just trying to find ways to bring that back. I lost all my passive income during the pandemic, leaving New York. It was really destructive. I was making good money and crash. So that's how my daily life looks. I haven't been dating anyone. There was this woman, Carmela, for 7 months, and she was living in Sweden. We only spent 5 weeks together, more or less, in 7 months, but super beautiful. Really felt an unconditional love, but in the connection map, it was the lifestyle alignment that was really low, or not really low, but medium. And when she came to Bali, she's just like, this is for me. So that's done, but I'm really grateful for that. We're on good terms. And in general, I feel healthy connections in my life, but nothing sexy, nothing that I'm really interested in. I've been wondering, and before Carmela, I went a long time without sex with anyone. So, and then I was with Anita for a year, which was not the healthiest, but she was really sweet and super spiritual and pure, and that was not me. So anyway, so that's how daily life looks. I'm working on a bunch of projects, working on building a permanent living community, like a small village, which I can tell you more about. I'm really excited for that. And a bunch of other projects. Geez, I have some retreats coming up with I Am Creation, where I'm doing a lot of teaching. I'm working, launching another program. I just finished the Connection Lab, which was a 4-month program on relationship clarity and communication. So I'm doing a lot around communication. Yeah, I'm feeling super healthy. I have a pretty strict longevity and health plan. So I take massive amounts of vitamins every day. And I also do NMN, resveratrol, metformin for longevity. I create little shakes with tons of protein and collagen and ashwagandha and a bunch of other things in like turmeric and black pepper and mango steam powder and just like name it. I just do it all. And my health is, I feel like, really, really good. I almost never get sick anymore. even when everyone's around me is getting COVID or getting colds, like I'm good. So feel good with that, feeling really strong at 48 years old. And, I think that's basically how daily life looks. That's a, uh, a long answer to a short question. I do a little bit of socializing, but not much these days. I have a new cat. I have two new cats, so I play with them a lot, on my computer a lot. I'm probably taking on too many projects, but they're all things I'm really excited about, and I'm helping probably too many people, but again, they're all things I'm excited about. So, all right, what forms of personal growth? Next question. What forms of personal growth work have you undertaken in your life? Coaching, workshops, yoga training? I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know where to start with that. I mean, a lot of the tantric work, I've done the ISTA level 1. I'm hopefully doing ISTA level 2. That was a big transformational one. I do authentic relating stuff. And I read personal development books, sometimes one book a week, sometimes two books a week, sometimes one book every 2 weeks. So just name every personal development book. And I'm at this point, I'm actually probably doing a little bit more teaching in this realm, especially around communication and clarity. I think I'm doing a lot of podcasts around this, a lot of interviews. And yes, I do yoga. I've been doing yoga for a long time, but not as consistently as I used to now that I'm at it's much more strength training. Probably could do a little bit more. I go to the chiropractors twice a week right now. I have there's an injury. I injured myself about a year ago at my primitive survival training, and yeah, I'm still working on healing that. It's taking longer than expected, but making progress. I usually get a massage once a week, although Rinto's been gone. I need to message him, actually. I'm going to do that. Can you tell me what you're currently experiencing around your awakening, sensuality, intimacy, relationships, and body and emotions? Well, I mean, the truth is, I'm noticing that as I'm getting older, I realize more and more that I am on the spectrum. I am neurodivergent in some ways. My brain doesn't work like most people's brains work. I don't believe I feel the same amount of emotions that most people feel. And for a long time, I just thought I didn't have access to them. But now I'm actually thinking with talking to people who are heavily diagnosed in neurodivergence, and even just that can't, some people I know that can't even feel certain emotions like jealousy. They literally cannot feel it. And so I'm starting to feel that more, and it's something I actually love about myself. And I used to shame myself that I did not feel as many as emotions. Like, I can feel emotion for sure, but it's not really at a super high level. My mind is very analytical. So sensuality, I've done a lot of work in this, especially in the long time in the kink area and in the tantric area. I love these practices, and they're not all for me. Like, for example, I actually am against semen retention. I practiced it for a long time, realized it's not good for me. And that in the tantric practice, I feel like it's a bit of an extreme. It's like swinging the pendulum too far the other way, where I believe that most men need to worry about, and they need to like hold their ejaculation and their orgasm. For me, it's the opposite. It takes me a massive effort to have an orgasm. So I actually think I need more of that in my life, and I need to focus more on my pleasure and my partner's pleasure as much, because I tend to do more of that, tend to be a big giver. And it's been beautiful with certain partners where I do feel that they want my pleasure, etc. So relationships, in general, my relationships have generally been very good, but I haven't found that golden relationship yet. And now I'm actually, after a recent conversation, I'm really questioning, do I want that or not? I thought I really did, but there's part of me that just wants to live my life the way it is. It's amazing and I love it. So some of the patterns have been choosing women that are younger and just fitting them into my life. And I used to shame myself for that and then be upset that when it didn't work out. But now I'm actually thinking that might be the best thing to do. Can talk about that a little bit, is just find someone, or maybe two people, that's which I kind of let go of this thought of being in a throuple, but I used to think that for a long time, that I really wanted that, because every time I was in thruples, I just like, I felt so safe, I felt so held, and I felt like I wasn't responsible for all of someone's needs, and that made me feel really good. So, uh, yeah, I'm very open to emotions, but I don't feel that much. What experiences struggle, resistance around? Are you experiencing struggling, resistance around that? I'm guessing it's the question before about intimacy, relationships, and body emotions. I think I can get in more into my heart. I don't have any resistance to that, except for trying to force myself to do something that I'm just not really programmed to do. Where would I like to be? Just in my heart more, functioning more from intuition and heart centered. The next question, what is your current experience with tantric ejaculation choice, premature ejaculation, erection of your lingam, and touch and play? As I said, I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm good, healthy. I masturbate sometimes. It's not, it feels more functional for me than anything else. I find it not that interesting and boring, honestly, just to like, you know, I don't like the idea, like, there's practices where you just stroke yourself for a long time, practicing ejaculating. It's not interesting to me. And premature ejaculation, no issues, erections, no issues, anal touch, I feel great with that. Play, I feel great with that. Thing there. What is your relationship status and style? I am single. Style ranges. I've literally tried so many flavors, relationships. I realize some of them that work for me and that don't work for me. And, uh, you know, yeah. So there's two options for me. One of them is to find an amazing woman that is like my golden relationship, that we can like create a life and a family and do all the fun things. But I realize that she has to want the lifestyle that I want. I don't want to change my lifestyle very much or at all. So I'm pretty set in those ways, which makes it a little harder, I believe, to find someone. And there's part of me so that's like one option. The other option is to find a couple, two women who want to be in a throuple, and we do that. That feels really good too. I'm also open to like a really amazing, beautiful lover. But yeah, I want something that really, it's a fuck yes, basically. It's like a full fuck yes. So style can range, basically. I love monogamy. I love monogamy. I love monogamish. I probably love monogamish the best. But yeah, I don't love full open relating and polyamory. I find it super annoying and way too much energy for what you get out of it. I love what's called a shared experience, a term I coined, where you're just doing things together. So primary partner, but maybe you have a threesome sometimes, or maybe you go to a play party sometimes and this stuff, things like that. Next question. What is your love languages? Which of these makes you feel really loved? Definitely touch, quality time. Acts of service, nothing. Gifts, nothing. Words of affirmation, not much of anything. Do you have any significant mental health challenges in your life? Are you seeing these psychiatrists, psychiatric, psychologist, or doctor? Do you have any STIs? Are you currently taking any medication? So mental health, definitely. I would say that I struggle with depression and anxiety most of my life. Been a huge struggle. And I've learned to distinguish between what is event-driven anxiety and depression, and what is non-event-driven anxiety and depression. So, yeah. And it's definitely, when I look at my family, I look at my mother, I look at my nieces, my nephews, my grandparents, it's like, it's really, really obvious. Like, and there's some discussions there we can talk about. But, no STIs. I am currently microdosing psilocybin. which is, I don't want that to be public, but it's working great. I'm open to trying STIs, but it's not there. I've been self-medicating my whole life with alcohol, drugs. Ketamine was a big one for a time and got a lot of control with addiction. Not in a really terrible way, but it was just too much, basically. That works great for anxiety and depression, but I didn't really love what it did to me in general. Alcohol was horrible. Sex and women was a great way to deal with that too, to create that. So basically, it's really the best way to describe it is my brain has a lack of stimulation most of the time. So it needs stimulation to be happy. So I'm looking for ways to stimulate it. And if it doesn't get that stimulation, it gets bored, it gets depressed, and it gets anxious. So I just need to stimulate it. So, I've really designed my life very carefully to do this by basically making it so that if I don't want to do something, I just don't have to do it. Right. So I've designed my life so that's the case, which is great. But even then, things that help are meditation, working out consistently. But even when I'm doing that like full on and doing a ton of that, it's still not enough. It like helps maybe 40%, 30%. So yeah, pause this. Next question. What is my intention for my tantric coaching journey? I don't know. I think to see what's available, see what you can help me unlock. Maybe there's something I can get to that really, yeah, unlocks maybe some other issues or potentially, yeah, I'm not sure, but that's something interesting. Okay, next page. What is your intention for your tantric coaching journey? My intention is just to see what I can get out of it, see if there's anything to unlock, unblock, and yeah, just kind of trust that process. See what's there. Go deep. Go deep. Next question. Tell me about your future vision for yourself. What would it look like? How would you be feeling about yourself? What would you be doing and with who? There's actually two. Future vision of myself is just continuing to be me and living this amazing life, building a community where we can be doing this all the time and going deep and being inspiring and giving talks all the time. That's a future vision myself. Definitely, I kind of have three future visions that feel really good. One of them is with an amazing partner that's like, I love, we're a powerhouse, we're just laughing, joking, great sex, adventures all the time. That feels really good. Another one is in a throuple where it's just so fun and feels so held, and it's maybe a little less casual for some reason. I feel that's a little more casual for some reason. And third vision is just not with any partners and just getting what I need, dating, being surrounded by lots of love and people I care about, and just crushing it in the world. Yeah, so they all feel kind of good. So, next question. What gaps are you seeing between where you are and the desired outcome you'd like to work on? It's crazy. I feel like my standards are so freaking high that I just haven't found anyone that I'm psyched about that is psyched about me at the same time. So I think it's really just a matter of just finding the right person that's completely aligned and then sticking with it. I thought with Carmelo it was pretty close, but the lifestyle alignment. So if we're gonna have that golden relationship, I just need to wait for it, and she's gonna be awesome. So, I think some gaps in the person is more getting back into my sexy, into my flirt and that attractiveness, and yeah, being seen more out in the world. I think could definitely help that. Mm. Maybe being more famous. I have this narrative. If I'm like more famous, I can get like a higher grade woman. Because I basically want I want like an insanely world class woman and smoking hot gorgeous. So, and intelligent and fun. I want everything. So I'm going to have it. I want it all. Unless I have two, then they can not be as, uh, and they don't have to be as high level, because then I can get kind of everything I need in two. Next question. What's in the way? Where have you been most challenged in allowing this to become real for you? I think just finding someone that's really aligned and holding on to them. Someone I can feel fully expressed with, and like this feeling that like I'm on the spectrum, you know. I'm neurodivergent, and like I think a lot, and I don't have access to as many emotions, or that's the narrative that I have. And so I think some of the challenges are, yeah, finding someone that I want to be with and they want to be with me at the same time and go long term, and wants to live in Bali also. That's another challenge for sure. And also wants to travel the world and go to Burning Man, and is okay with psychedelics, and is okay with like being around a bunch of tantrikas, and being around a bunch of world shakers, and also like can fit into my life and feel like they have a life of their own. Next question. How did you find out about me and Tantra coaching? What post or message did you see and thought with platform? That's not so relevant. Anything else you'd like to share? Next question. No, I think that's good.